Hello and welcome to Tech for Non-Techies, the only podcast that demystifies the fast-growing technology sector. I'm your host, Sophia Matveeva, Chicago-based MBA and tech entrepreneur. My aim here is to give you the skills, knowledge and confidence to find opportunities in the tech sector, whether that's through founding a company, getting a dream job, or bringing a fresh perspective to your work.
Hello, smart people. How are you today? I have had a busy but very intellectually stimulating week. On Friday morning, I taught my class on the Introduction to Technology for Non-Technical Founders at Oxford University for the first time, which was definitely very exciting. And you might know that on Mondays in October, I also teach at London Business School, where we focus on what you need to know about technology if you want to work in big tech or lead digital transformation. So to be an employee or to be an investor rather than a founder. And on the weekend, in between teaching at Oxford and LBS, I was putting the finishing touches on a report on how the greatest and largest companies and the smartest people approach innovation, which I've been doing with support from the University of Chicago. So very academic these days. The report is finally out after months of research and analysis, and it's called I Want to Innovate, But How? The Pragmatist's Guide to Growth in Business and in Life. It took us a lot of work and I'm very proud, and you can get access to our pearls of wisdom and learn how to apply them to your business and to your life. And so you can get that at techfornontechies.co/innovate. I've put the link in the show notes, or just go to techfornontechies.co/innovate. Honestly, I can't wait for you to read it. It has been the thing that has been dominating my brain for at least about a month. And I am proud, but my brain hurts and just wants to be left alone a bit. I feel like I've given you all of my clever thoughts and I don't think there's anything left. So today I'm going to do a minimal amount of work, and then I'm going to watch Married at First Sight and eat brownies on my sofa. But before I turn into Homer Simpson and plop myself down on the sofa, I want to share some of the findings from our report. I often get asked how smart non-technical professionals can be part of the tech boom. And what I found is that working in innovation at a large corporate is a really good way to achieve that. But if you've actually looked at head of innovation roles, you might have noticed that they're wildly different from company to company. For our report, we interviewed people who lead innovation at some of the world's largest businesses. The FMCG brands whose chocolates you're munching, the banks where you keep your money, and the healthcare companies that look after you. We spoke to innovation leaders at all of these businesses on the grounds of anonymity, because that's the only way you can get some real stuff out of people. And frankly, I really wanted to know, can the head of innovation at a company that makes sweets possibly do the same job as one that makes robots? Unlike the heads of finance or the heads of marketing, the innovation role at companies is just too varied to take at face value. Building an innovation department is not the same as building an accounting department, where there are typically structures and guidelines and even regulations to follow. And that's why innovation is so hard to classify and repeat across industries. And this bit is really relevant to some of you. So innovation professionals come from various backgrounds. Some of them have deep technical expertise, some have a marketing background, or they have specific expertise in that sector. And these people, they tend to have very hands-on jobs. So they lead teams and they create new products or new processes. But I've also found that there are people who have literally the same title, so the head of innovation title, and they're more like what I would call corporate philosophers. So their main job is literally to write articles about innovation and about what the future of the industry would look like, and then to go to conferences and enlighten people with these pearls of wisdom. So literally, you have some people with the same job title in one company working on quantum computing. I spoke to somebody like that. Then I spoke to another innovation leader who is redesigning stores. And also others are literally just writing articles on future predictions. And this might look insane at first because the differences are so wide, but it is actually not totally bonkers, as I've discovered. So basically, the needs of the company determine the background of the head of innovation. And I'll show you some examples so you can see which one might be most relevant or interesting to you. But first, we are academic here, remember? Let's start with some concepts. There are basically 6 ways to approach innovation. They are private innovation, public innovation, incremental innovation, breakthrough innovation, product innovation, and finally, process innovation. In the report, I go through each one of these and show you case studies, and also I show you how to apply these types of innovations to your business and to your life. And you can get all of that at techfornontechies.co/innovate. And we found that companies that do innovation well, in those companies, the background of the head of innovation is linked to the kind of growth strategy the company wants to focus on. So which one of those 6 that I just told you about, which one have they chosen? So let's take, for example, breakthrough innovation. Sounds very cool. So breakthrough innovation is when a company asks itself, we need to do something completely different. And what is this completely different thing? And after we figured out what this completely different thing is, how do we do it? Because breakthrough innovation is focused on doing something completely different, its aim is to drive exponential revenue growth and to completely transform the business by entering entirely new markets. And this can include technology, so this can be digital transformation, but it actually doesn't have to be. And today I want to give you an example that is not digital. So we spoke to an innovation leader at an alcohol company who is dealing with a question I just posed. We need to do something completely different, but what is it? And before I tell you how they came up with the answer, I want to ask you, what would you do in this situation? So most of us, let's be fair, are familiar with alcohol products. I mean, I certainly am, if you haven't guessed yet. And most of us have had a glass of wine or beer or whiskey or whatever. So imagine you are working at a company that makes alcoholic beverages. If you are, I want to be a friend, by the way. Anyway, so you're in the C-suite and you're having a discussion with your colleagues and you're all saying, okay, we need to do something completely new and something completely different to grow our business. What are our thoughts? What are we doing? So, my dear smart person, come on, you're smart. What would you do? So in this example, their thought process was, well, why do people buy wine or whiskey or any of that fun, tasty stuff? It's basically to alter an experience, to change a mood. Wine at dinner with your friends can make the conversation flow more or flow in an interesting new direction. Or at a club, a tequila shot can get a shy person onto the dance floor or snogging a stranger. So it's basically mood modulation, right? And let's take this a step further. What else alters your mood? I know, lots of things. But let's keep it dressed and legal. And this is a clue. What is being decriminalized right now and getting lots of investment dollars? That's right, darlings. Cannabis. So the innovation leader that I spoke to, the company he's at is expanding from offering alcohol products to making edible cannabis. Basically, making different forms of weed gummies and brownies and all that stuff that I spent my college years making. For this job, the head of innovation needs to have a strategic view on market and consumer trends and changing regulation. Given that there is this strategic job of market analysis and market entry, it makes sense that this person has a background in consulting. But yet, another innovation leader we spoke to has a background at a design agency, and they've applied it to banking. Well, that's interesting. And if you've been listening for a while, you will know that design thinking is a core element of making new products, whether they're digital products like apps or sites or analog products, literally like, chairs and doors. So while fintech gets the press headlines, many transactions and account openings still actually happen in-store in an actual bank branch. So this innovator's job that I spoke to, the innovator that has this design background, her job was to redesign customer experience in the actual bank branches. And that's an example of public innovation. So public innovation is when it's vitally important for customers to feel and see the company's new face and to see that the company is being innovative. So public innovation is very tied to marketing. So it's really where people who understand consumer behavior and marketing and design thinking, that's where people like that do really well. But you know what? Listen to this. So I spoke to a person with literally the same job title in a competing bank. So you'd think that it would be like the same, but no. This other person, so this third example that I'm about to share with you, they're a software developer, and their job was to investigate how the bank can use quantum computing to improve its operations. And can this be any more different? I mean, literally, one is redesigning bank branches, and the other one is quantum computing. They have the same job titles, and they both work in banking. I mean, I just find this really interesting. And don't knock either of these. Don't think that just because one is redesign and the other one is quantum computing, that means one has less value. Both of them have an effect on the business. They're just different things. And because they're different things, they have different goals, they have different approaches, right? And so that's why they have different people. Investigating how a bank can use quantum computing to change its operations is an example of private innovation. And that's what we normally find in the R&D departments of pharmaceutical companies. And private innovation is just that. It's private. Its results stay top secret and remain in the lab until the final product is ready for release. Private innovation efforts might be protected by patents, actually. So it's not just biotech that has patent protection. You'll often see patented algorithms too. And in fact, I actually know a founder who created some algorithms. He got patents for them, and then that helped him raise millions of dollars. Because private innovation is so internally focused, it makes sense that the person who does it has a background in research and in product development. So you see, my point is that different growth aims require different methods and thus different people. So in this episode, I've given you 3 examples. So today we had our first example in breakthrough innovation. Our second example came through public innovation and then private innovation. So the first one was, remember, the weed gummies. The second one was redesigning bank branches. That's public innovation. And then we talked about private innovation, and that's quantum computing in finance. So you've seen 3 examples of the 6 paths of innovation. Remember that all the 6 paths are private innovation, public innovation, incremental innovation, breakthrough innovation, product innovation, and finally process innovation. If you want to learn about what they are and also actually see examples of how companies have used these paths and also apply these lessons to your life and to your business, then check out the report. I promise you will learn something. You can get the report at techfornontechies.co/innovate. And my completely subjective view is that it is bloody excellent. And if you're loving what you're learning, then I suggest that you join us as a member at Tech for Non-Techies. You will get monthly coaching sessions with me and masterclasses with global experts. So yesterday, we had a live session with Jennifer Byrne, who is the ex-Chief Technology Officer of Microsoft US. She came to speak to our members and answer their questions. And honestly, you cannot get access like this anywhere else. Okay, maybe you could if you went to the World Economic Forum at Davos. Maybe you could get something similar there, but not much outside that. And you know what Davos people don't get? They don't get coaching sessions with me. And they also don't get what our members get, which is access to our content library and learning notes on key aspects of technology like AI, product development, and the app economy. Our members include alumni of Harvard, Oxford, and the University of Chicago, people who are buying companies, building businesses, and leading innovation. Tech for Non-Techies is a community of very impressive people, and I'm very proud and I'd love you to join us. You can join us at techfornontechies.co/membership, and the link to that is also in the show notes. And that's it for now, my dear smart people. Have a fabulous day. And I will be back in your lovely ears next week. Ciao.